I'm Misty. This is a little sales channel of jewelry and clothing. If you've never met me before, feel free to subscribe and come and learn about my little small business. Hang out in the live chat, and I hope you'll have a great time. But today is a different kind of video. It is a very personal video that almost was a tragedy that I experienced last night. Because I'm tired, I'm give out, I'm shook, I'm traumatized. This is Zoe. Some of you know her, some not. She's a little hero, and I'm going to tell you what happened, okay? At the very end of this video, I'm going to tell you why I think it happened and how I think it happened, and you may be surprised to learn something about me that you never knew. I hope you will still accept me and love me and not judge me for it. Oh, I look a mess. I am a mess. Mentally, worse than physically, if you can even imagine. So last night, I had a live sale, and it was a good sale, and hanging out with subscribers and friends, chitty-chatting, selling jewelry and clothing, and we ended on a great note. It was almost 10:30. All right, let me tell you about the little break I took. I normally take a little 10 to 15 minute break if I have a long sale. I took one last night around 8:40, 8:45 p.m. Okay, that's important to remember. This that I'm going to share that happened around 10:33 p.m. last night is the last time I remember looking at the clock. I'm like, Zoe, do you want a bite to eat? Well, Zoe came into the kitchen and she was whimpering. My little hero. She was whimpering and, you know, like, crying, little low voice. And I thought, well, she's really hungry. She's wanting a snack. I thought I smelt it burning. I leaned down and was like, you know, is it too hot? I've had it on for quite a while. Let me turn it down. I turned the heater down, went back to the kitchen, and continued making me and Zoe some soup. And she just kept on, you know, whining and just, and she'd disappear. I thought she'd went in the living room. I'm like, well, come on, Zoe, if you want something to eat. Somehow I turned towards my laundry room in my kitchen. There's a window. I looked out. The side of my car looked yellow and orange, and it looked like movement on it. And I kind of blinked my eyes, and I'm moving towards the door because I'm thinking, getting closer to figure out what in the world. Just looking. I opened the door, and all this is happening, just slowly coming to me what could be causing that color on my car. It's a brick house, thank God. I immediately, just ran over. I could see my glider couch. It's a glider couch, metal. It's heavy as hell. And I could see it was engulfed in flames. The fire was at the ceiling of my porch. And, you're in fight or flight all of a sudden. I run back into the house to get my phone. I did not see it. I didn't spend time looking. I just I didn't see it. I ran back around. Only thing I thought to grab, which was a metal broom. And y'all, I can't tell you, 80 pounds, maybe 80, 75, 80 pounds, that metal glider rocker weighed. On that rocker was 4 cushions, 2 seat cushions, 2 back cushions. It was a 2-seater. But on that were about 8 pillows, throw pillows, and a blanket my mom had crocheted me. That was my kids' high school colors. And another big something for padding because the cushions were a little worn, and it was just full of covers and pillows. All of that was on fire. So I grabbed the broom, and I'll try to insert me showing you what I was doing, because I was like, I got to get this off the porch, get these flames out off this porch, or my ceiling's going to catch on fire up the porch, my brick porch, which is attached to my house. Somehow, by the grace of God, I got it out there, but still, there were little, burning, I guess, pieces of the cushion and this and that, burning on the concrete porch, burning down my 3 concrete steps. there were pieces of the grass and leaves burning all around that area, and you'll see pictures of it. And I was just, so I had gotten the glider out into the yard right at the bottom of the steps there, and it was still engulfed in flames. There's 2 bushes on each side, and I was so afraid those were gonna, and they're high, and they would have caught the ceiling there on fire over the porch. So I thought, hose. I ran over here, and I'm breathing so hard, y'all. It was fight or flight, you know, they say. I'm breathing so hard. I barely have a voice to tell you this right now. And the whole time I couldn't breathe because I'm running back and forth, trying to look for my phone, trying to, what to do. I needed to call 911. And I'm praying, please help me breathe. Please help me breathe. Please help me breathe. That's all I'm saying out loud, I think. I think it was out loud. But I go over there, and how in the dark my hands were steadied to screw my hose back onto the pump, the water thing, because it had been unhooked because of these plummeting temperatures. Below 0, it would freeze and bust. So I had to screw it on. Then I go to lift the handle. That's how my outside water is, for like the hose. And I'm lifting it, praying to God water will just spew out of that hose. It didn't, because it was frozen. I run from there back in the house. I find my phone. Y'all, I can't even tell you where I found my phone. I don't know if I put it in the bedroom, if it was still over in my little sales room where I was working, you know, doing my live sale kitchen. I don't know. I found it. At this point, I also had grabbed a little trash can in my laundry room, put it under the kitchen sink, started running water in it. The water was coming out like molasses, slow as molasses, and now come to think of it, it's because I had this water turned on out here and the pressure was all out here. And so I maybe got this much water in a little trash can, and I had run out there with this precious water. Don't know where to pour it. I thought, okay, the fire that's burning on the porch is on concrete. You know, I'm thinking this, where do I pour this? And I dumped it right on the majority of the flames. At this time had died way down. And I called 911. And I remember them saying something, what is your emergency? And I just said, fire, I need help. No, I didn't say fire. I just said, I need help, please send somebody here. Well, thank God now you ain't got to go through telling your address. They kind of know it when they get to your cell phone. And she goes, is this about the fire? I guess somebody had saw it. I have lots of traffic by my house in 2 different directions. And somebody maybe had, I don't know. But she said, we've got a crew on the way, whatever. And I'm like, okay. I don't know what I do with my phone at this point. All right. Running from the front of the porch to the back to get into the kitchen to look for the phone, to get the water, this and that. I stepped in my granddoggy. I babysitted my huge Akita, like a German Shepherd. He's about tall as me, standing up, 6 foot tall. I had babysitted him last Friday. My son had went for a Christmas gathering, and I guess he had pooped. Well, I know he had, right here at the edge of my house, and I'd covered it in leaves. Well, it's dark. I'm running back and forth. I had these white Crocs on, which are kind of black, and I had stepped in it. Well, at this point, I had lost one of my Crocs, and I specifically remember taking my other foot and kicking that Croc out from the fire because I didn't want it to melt. It's plastic, you know, these shoes. And anyway, so I was in one shoe, one sock, running. I guess I stepped right in there. I didn't realize at the time. So when I opened my laundry room door, I wiped out. I slid. I fell. I tried to catch myself with my elbow. And I hurt this elbow not long ago. And it is all puffy and swollen. I hit my elbow so hard. And all up the side of my leg and my right side of my butt bruised. Killed me. I could have just laid there. I was hurting so bad, y'all. And it jarred me. But I knew I had to keep going, you know. So anyway, all of that, okay, happened. The next thing I know, my daughter is pulled in the driveway, which I didn't realize she did. I'm standing there, and I'm waiting on the firefighters. They pull in right behind my daughter. My daughter, I'll never forget, her face comes up looking at me. She had almost a smile on her face. She said, "What is wrong?" She didn't even the flames were out. She didn't even realize. And she thought I was just having a damn mental breakdown, I guess, which is not normal, but, you know, I'm a little crazy, but not that. And anyway, I'm like, Morgan, and I just busted out. I mean, finally, the severity, the gravity of the situation hit me. I couldn't breathe. I was hyperventilating. The fireman came. I said, you know, please, God, just make sure nothing's going to ignite up there in the roof part of this. They took the infrared gun. I took them upstairs to my inventory room full of clothes on racks and stuff. I'm stepping over it, pulled back this door so they could see my attic, because I could see if anything was hot or whatever up there. My porch ceiling was 130 degrees with that infrared thing. 130 degrees when they got here. And for about 20-ish minutes, my daughter had went very close to me, lives my ex-husband, the father of my children, to get him, because somebody needed to be here. I am so torn up, hyperventilating. My eyes are still swollen. And I couldn't calm down. I mean, people were trying to touch me. I just thought I was going to hit somebody. I was probably having a nervous breakdown. Nobody seemed to realize that everybody was out here attending to this. Finally, somebody thought to ask if anybody had oxygen on this truck. Well, about that time, I guess they didn't, and somebody had called for the EMS, or what do you call them, medical, I don't know. They're angels, thank God for them. They came, they set me in the living room on my ottoman. They put oxygen on me, and they're like, breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. And the man is saying, honey, this is normal. Because I'm looking in my living room, looking out the door, and I keep thinking there's smoke, and I'm still freaking. He said, honey, that is soot. That is the black soot. It is not nothing on fire. Everything's okay. He was just saying, you know, what you're feeling is normal. My blood pressure was 200 and some over 105. He asked me to look up my nose, in my mouth. He's shining a flashlight in my eyes while I got the pulse ox, this and that. They did a carbon dioxide reading, I don't know, monoxide, whatever. And he says, blow your nose for me. I guess my daughter got me something to blow my nose. I blow it, and he's like, now let me see that. I'm like, I'm just thinking, you want to see my snot? Yes. I opened it up, and that showed him how much I might have inhaled of that smoke. I'm sitting there. There was a man and woman paramedic. All the firefighters were outside. And all of a sudden, the girl was talking, and that oxygen was calming me down. And it's like I woke up out of a dream. That's what it felt like. And all of a sudden, her words made sense. His words made sense. I could comprehend and fathom what had just happened. Because before that, I was running around like a chicken with its head chopped off in a dream. Surreal. Fight or flight. All my adrenaline gone. I was at zero, and I was exhausted. And I was hurting so bad I couldn't bend my elbow. And, yeah, it's like I woke up out of a dream, and they were talking to me about smoke detectors and fire, whatever you call them, smoke alarms. And they're talking about making me feel peace by getting a couple of fire extinguishers, which I highly recommend. I'm telling this so my beloved family will know what happened. My dad, my mom. I can't repeat this over and over. It's traumatic. I'm traumatized. And I do have to work this afternoon, and I will work this afternoon, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I will do my live sale. Feel free to come be with me, y'all. I could use company. But you may be thinking, what in the hell happened, Misty? And that's what I'll share with you that I've never really shared about myself, for fear of probably being judged by others, or maybe losing customers in my business. I'm a smoker since I have been 18 years old, minus 2 or 3 years I quit through my pregnancies. I'm a smoker. And maybe some of y'all kind of had a feeling about it, because I have a smoker's cough. Or, you know, when I take my little breaks, I'm going to have a puff many times. And that's what I did last night. I had a puff. And y'all, I didn't sit on that couch to smoke. I was sitting in a metal chair across from the couch. And I remember tossing my cigarette case over on the couch, thinking I'd have a cigarette after the sale. I didn't. I put my cigarette out in the ashtray on this little, like, old-timey, rustic-looking wooden bench there. I have a bucket with water where I put my cigarette butts in, because I'm always trying to be very careful about it. Y'all, did I flip the ashes off my cigarette and the cherry went over on that couch with all that material and pillows and stuff? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Matter of fact, at one point I was thinking, did somebody come and set fire to my couch? Because I could not fathom that from 8:45 p.m. to 10:30, something was smoldering. Something had happened. And by 10:30, it was in flames, and my whole porch was. Yeah, to think of a cigarette makes me nauseous. And I'll just finally say, I feel like God, universe, ever how you believe, this was help for me to quit, because it's been one of the worst things I've ever tried. I've tried things in my younger days, and I've never had a vice like this. It's my go-to for stress, which I've been very much lately. It is my pleasurable type thing I do, but I know it's not good for me. I know it's not good for my heart. I have high blood pressure. I have a little heart condition. I know it's not. And maybe, you know, God wanted me here longer on this earth for whatever reason. And he knew the cigarettes and the years of smoking would wear my heart out, or cause me a heart attack, or whatever it might be. I feel like this was help for me to quit smoking, because of everything that happens in my life for the past 6 to 8 years. As I've really begun reflecting and searching and understanding, it's a spiritual experience we're having here on this earth. There's a lesson in everything that happens to me, and I've already tried to think, what is it? But y'all, I'm sitting out here and the wind's blowing, and out of my peripheral, I think I'm seeing flames. Or I'm continuously checking those little space heaters that are running to help heat my house right now. Or I can't tell you how traumatized I am. It was the scariest thing I've ever been through in my life. And yeah, I'll be a little off because of it for a while. But I think I got enough videos showing, you know, the soot everywhere, the ceiling, but you know, it's a matter of planting some new grass seed and cleaning up and painting. My house is fine. Everything in it. I'm okay. You know, the fireman had said, you know, you probably saved your house, but you shouldn't have. He said, you should have called us. I said, I couldn't find my phone. And I had no water. It was so helpless feeling, y'all. So, this is my story I'm sharing with my family, with anybody that watches this channel, anybody that might come across it. You know, after something like this happens, I feel like you all of a sudden become an advocate for fire safety, or, oh my God, you realize how angelic and precious these volunteer firemen are, the medical rescue teams that helped me and were so sweet. I'm like, I want y'all to spend the night. That's what I told the firemen. I don't want you to leave. And this little angel who was trying to get my attention, y'all, there are angels among us, disguised as regular people, as a little doggy. That's how I feel. But anyway, y'all, I'll be processing this. I'll be chewing on it. I'll be thinking about it, what lessons come to me. I wanted to share it with y'all. You can conclude what you'd like. You can think I deserved it because I smoke. Whatever you might think, feel free. It's, you know, freedom of speech in my comments. But yeah, I never smoked in my house because I just didn't. I hate the smell of smoke. I always smoked out on the porch. And two, I have clothing. I don't want to smell like smoke in my house, and I don't want my, nice things to smell smoky. I hate it. I hate the smell it leaves on my hands. I hate that it's my run-to for everything. It's a habit that I hate and almost love at the same time, and I need to quit, and I want to quit. And this has scared the living daylights out of me to quit. I really believe. So please pray for me that I can quit. I never want to, I don't know if I'll ever burn a candle again. I mean, just the sight of a flame is terrorizing to me. But that is what happened last night, and I'm glad that I lived to tell about it. It could turn out a different way. It could have been truly traumatic. It was traumatic emotionally, mentally, but it could have been physically traumatic, Thank y'all for listening. I love you, and good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I'll be at work tonight. I need to. But I wanted to tell you, and I wanted my dad to know, and my mom to know, and whoever else. And I'm very thankful for the little family that rushed to my rescue and tried to calm me. Morgan put my hair in a ponytail, and it was just, yeah. Thank you. And there at the end, y'all, I don't know how, I slept 5 hours. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. I laid across the bed with Zoe and bawled and let it out, and she just licked my tears in my face. And she's okay. I love y'all. Thanks for listening.